And I never quite heard it. No, it's, these all these old cars all have the
Yes, these are staying.
Yes, Take some pictures. Take some pictures.
I'm doing well.
Some this way, over here, then you're doing special.
Well, that might crazy one.
You crank, we'll be okay. He can shove it over.
Hey Marcelo, how are you, brother? Yeah, my screen is out, so I really can't type. Trying to fix that problem. Goddamn.
No, I gave him. I think I gave him 260. That was good money. Oh, that's not. That's pretty cool. It's all indoors. Yeah. I'll shoot you. I'll send you a couple we got one. You can put your stuff here and
Hey, Jay Gray Sweater, how are you, brother? We're having technical difficulties over here, as usual. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know what happened yesterday. I think the stream got cut off or something. I'm trying to mirror my image on the thing, but it's not working. Hmm. Maharaja, how are you, Maharaja? Hey, jump on, bro. Hold on. Let me share this. All right. How do you? Jesus. Sh- Oh man, I forgot. I haven't used this thing in such a long time. I forgot how to use the damn thing. Hey, here we go. Here you go. Here you go. Jump on it, bro. Somebody jump on. Just running some tests over here. I can't seem to connect my an external monitor to the computer. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Shit. Hmm, amazing. Cool. All right. Yes, we are. We are working over here. We're trying to get this thing taken care of. The question is, how do cars are moving? Cars are moving. Cars are moving. Very good. Very good. Very good. Jay Gray Sweater, how are you? Jesus, man, I can't connect this son of a bitch. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Try it. Hello, the Maharaja. How are you?
Yo, big dog. I'm so sorry about yesterday, man. Like
Oh no, it's all right, bro. It's all right. It happens.
I have no idea. I've never happened to me before. It's like I'm on the stream, I'm talking to you, you're about to give your response, and like
Right, right.
it just errors out. It's a StreamYard 3.5 whatever error, right? So I'm not no problem. Like it's probably just the website bugged out or whatever. So I'm like, Mark's on, I'll hop back in. Boom, it shows that the show's
Right.
ended. I'm like, what the fuck? I've never seen that happen before. And that's why I fired up the stream right away.
Right, right, right,
Second
right,
one.
right, right.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on yesterday. I know there was a
Oh no,
middle of your day
absolutely,
and stuff like that. So,
absolutely, man. Shit happens because right now my whole system crashed. So my external monitor that's not working.
oh shit.
I don't know what happened. I haven't changed anything. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Well, look, I've heard StreamYard's like a lot of folks are even thinking of switching from StreamYard because they did a price increase and a bunch of
Yeah,
stuff.
but where do we go? What do we do?
I don't know. Like there's other software that's come out that people are using. I know that Scratchy and Jock use something else on their stream, and it's cheaper or it's free or something like that. So I'll find out and I'll let you know. But yeah, a lot of
So
folks.
how's my image coming out? Is it clear or is it blurry or what? Because it says I'm doing 1080p.
No, it was fine on the show. Like I was watching it on the stream. It was looking good.
Oh,
Audio
okay.
was coming good too. Yeah, it probably is just on your end that it's showing that way, but
Yeah.
on the stream it was fine. Didn't see
Oh,
anything wrong with it. So
all right. So everything was like crisp and clear, and the image, the video, the
hmm
feed was fine. Oh
yeah,
wow,
it didn't
that's
seem
amazing.
it didn't seem off. And this is what I was saying on the show yesterday. Like I like how you go to these events and you show like muscle cars and
Right, right, right,
just
right.
different things because like you said, even in the magazine, because when people go to these events, they're so proud of their cars, right?
Oh, absolutely,
They have a sheet
absolutely.
that describes everything they've done to it, right? So when they see it in the magazine, like it's just a big thing for people, right?
Yeah, that's exactly the whole thing. That's why I do it,
Yeah, no,
and it's picking up a lot of traction. Thank God for that.
well, I think it's also where you're at, right? Chicago's got a good car community, and so there's events going on often enough.
It's pretty big. It's pretty big.
Yeah, I'm just gonna I'm gonna reach out to like my friends and stuff in Chicago. Like I said, I don't know if like Bolingbrook Naperville's too far from you or whatever.
No, man, it's a hop, skip, and a jump away. I
Okay.
pass Bolingbrook almost every other day.
Okay. Yeah, they live
Yeah,
around there, right? So they do mostly like meets at I don't know if you know Naperville very well.
yeah. The Patel Brothers, the parking lot.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's where they go, right? They go to
That-
that parking lot.
That's a huge parking lot, man. We just did believe it or not, we just did a Trump rally over there
Oh, really?
a
Not
couple of
surprised.
weeks ago. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They're pretty
because
nice.
yo, there's a I don't know if you've ever eaten at that restaurant, Bombay Chopsticks. It's like right beside.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's actually really good. It's like fusion Chinese Indian food, really good, man.
Right, right, right,
Um,
right, right, right.
and they got a good chai spot there as well because it's like you can go
Yeah.
park there, go for chai and stuff. So it's
Oh, absolutely. It's gonna be the next Devon.
well, bro, like these guys are all like they're around our age, and
Right, right, right.
they're they got Porsches, they got like some guys have Lambos and stuff, and they're just car enthusiasts, right? So when I saw like what you were doing, even though you
Mhm.
do like a lot of vintage stuff and you do muscle cars
Right,
and everything else, I was like, man, like fuck, I saw your Miata. I'm like, you would fit in amazing with these guys because they're
right.
they're super chill guys, and
Yeah.
you know, I
No,
think
I actually believe it or not, we do everything. We do it. Lately. What's been happening is that we're doing the muscle cars, but yeah, we cover all cars, all genres.
yeah, that's why I was like, if Ace Spade Rally comes to Chicago again next year, I'll probably go on it.
Right.
I might even tell you to fucking fly your ass to Toronto, and then I'll just drive with me. Because think about it, you could do all the media coverage from the
Absolutely.
car and stuff, right? And then we're already going to Chicago anyway, so I'll just drop you home when we're done, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Um,
tough, man. Like it's funny on Archie's show now. We've I don't know if you know this YouTuber named Jay Anthony. He's
no.
yeah, he's an OG like watch YouTuber. He used to make videos like when Archie was making videos like 7 8 years ago.
Right.
Anyways, I reached out to him this year and I'm like, hey, would you be interested to do some collabs with Archie? And he actually is like a big Archie fan, but he's a
Mhm.
huge car guy. And he's like, fuck, he's like, this is the one channel I can come on where, like we can talk a bit of cars, talk a bit of watches and whatnot. And it's been pretty good. That's why I'm like, man, you should come around and talk to Jay Anthony because he's from his I think I mentioned his father was like an exec at
Mhm.
GM
Oh
And
wow.
he's got a huge amount of car knowledge, big domestic car guy, but also like
Mhm.
loves his imports, loves his muscle cars and stuff too. So it's
Right. No, absolutely. And I wanted to tell you. I mean, it's a good thing you brought that up yesterday about the watches, because
mhm.
man, we have a company that sponsors us. Well, they give us a lot of stuff for tchotchkes, giveaways.
Yeah.
So the company's called Pagani.
The
You ever
company
heard
is
of
just
them?
a small company called Pagani, right? Like,
Uh-huh. No,
you ever
not
heard of those guys? Like, of course I have, man.
yeah, the Paganis. So what they do is they have how do I put this? How do I put this? They're not knockoffs. They are, I wouldn't call them replicas.
Hmm.
They are homage to the to the brands,
That's cool.
And they sell them on Amazon. They sell them on their
Yeah.
store and everything. And so
Huh?
they gave me holy shit. They took out an ad, and they gave me a bunch of watches to give away. So I've
Mhm.
been giving away watches, believe it or not.
We do have a pretty decent community in Chicago as well. Just in the Archie side. So, it's good that you came. Okay, you know what's fucked is Bear Clooney came on last night and he's like, Tan was on with some guy I don't know. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You don't know producer Mark? Like, I mean, because when you were streaming on our show years ago,
Right.
like
Yeah.
I wasn't really around. Saad was around, Archie was around, but like
Right.
Bear was definitely
Yeah.
around. I'm like, how the fuck does Bear not know
Yeah.
producer Mark? Like,
Nah, I think Bear was talking about somebody else, not me.
yeah, I was like, there's
Yeah.
no way he doesn't know who
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, we've been doing a lot of like car talk, which has been really good because what I noticed, I don't know if I think I messaged you when Archie lost his son a few months ago and whatnot, and
Yeah. Oh man, that was so sad. So
yeah, bro,
sad.
I went to London with him a few weeks after he lost his son, and
Right.
honestly, most of what he was talking to me about in London was just car stuff.
Right.
He
Right.
loves car spotting. He
Yeah.
loves, he's a big car guy, and
Right.
more so even than a watch guy these days. And I was like,
Right.
I would love to just, have him, whether it's offline or on streams or whatever,
Oh yeah. I
have
mean,
him answer you
I'd love
because
to.
like,
I'd love to do it for Archie. Not a problem. For Archie, anything. He's the one that got us fucking started in this shit.
yeah, I just think that like where we are right now with like a lot more car talk,
Right.
guys like me, guys like you, Jay Anthony, Mike the Snake.
Right.
There's a
Right.
lot of like car people around that are
Right.
really enjoying the car. Whereas a bit different than it was years ago, where the second you talk about cars, everyone's like, "Oh, toxic sludge," and they don't want to talk about it,
Right.
right? So
Yeah. Everybody likes cars and shit. I'm the car guy. I run a fucking car magazine.
I
This
know.
this is one of my shows that I put on. I
Well,
mean,
and this
we had like 300 cars over there, all kinds.
Well, this is why I wanted to highlight because we've been doing a lot of like car meet video. Like whenever I go to a car meet, I just hop on the live stream and I show the cars, and everybody likes it. And that's
Right.
why when I when you're on, I'm like, fuck, let's plug Vintage Car Mag because like we want to make sure that like you know we want to make sure that like your car magazines are people know about what you're doing as a business, but also like the vintage car shows you go to as well. But
Right.
like you said, it's not just vintage, it's not just domestics, it's not just
Nah, it's all cars.
when you're
It's all
doing
cars.
because the business called Wicked Car Mag, right? Is
The
the name of Wicked
wicked
Car
car
Mag,
magazine. Yeah.
right? So it's
So
not just vintage; it's everything, right?
no. It's all cars. But the thing is, with the Chicago. See, look at that. I don't know if you can see the DeLorean over there.
Oh yeah,
So it's all cars. And the thing with the Chicago guys is, if there's a car meet for Porsches or Lamborghinis or McLarens, guess what? They're like a group of people that find out about a little cruise or something,
mm.
and they have classic cars. Guess what? They'll join in too. So it's all literally all cars.
Have you thought about expanding into doing a rally for Wicked Car Mag itself?
I have thought about it, but the problem is liability. Because here sometimes the crowd gets a little bit overzealous. Look at this. Look at this. I don't know if you can. This is all our cars that are coming to our little cruise we did.
Nice. Nice.
I try not to involve myself or my name in any interstate rallies
Yeah.
because of accidents, and people
Mhm.
start doing burnouts and they start doing the crazy shit. That's the only problem.
Yeah, so that is an issue with rallies. Just from experience having gone on a bunch of them, like,
Right.
you sign a liability waiver, you sign a bunch of shit. But like
Oh, absolutely.
you
But
said,
the
yeah, it's I get it, I understand. It can go beyond that.
All right, hold on. I'm not gonna cut you off, but see that bandit car coming?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a $200,000 bandit car.
Well, and this is kind of where I was going with it, Mark, was I have friends that do the rally stuff and like
Yeah,
the rallies are insane. Like you're always doing crazy high speeds. Like that's the point of it, right?
right.
Other people do they do rallies, but it's a lot more tempered. It's a lot especially with these cars, right? Like
Yeah.
you're not gonna be ripping
Oh,
around like
man, you can't even go over 70 miles per hour in these cars.
right. Whereas like, taking a nice trip up to Wisconsin
Right,
or
right,
other
right,
areas,
right.
right, would be nice. And it's a good and I have friends who do this. They actually do it more like tours as opposed to rallies. And they kind
Hmm.
of curate like the drive and they curate the restaurant spots and everything. So it makes it like an experience for people where they get to take these cars, but it's like, okay, we're gonna meet up with the Wicked Car guys at Patel Brothers,
Right,
have a
right,
coffee in
right,
the
right.
morning, and then from there, the cruise has a full schedule and
Hmm.
everything else. And again, right, then you can regulate it. It's not about speed, it's about having a good time with people that are, and also share
Right.
with other
Right.
communities, right? Not just the Chicago community, but you may go to Indiana, you may go to
Yeah.
Wisconsin, right? You may go up to Milwaukee, like s-
Right, right, right.
stuff like that. And it expands not only your car magazines business, but also, the fun that people have. And I'll tell you, there's a group, the A Spade Rally group in Toronto.
Hmm.
They do like weekly drives. It's run by a guy named Saturn. He calls it Saturn's Drives, and every week he curates a little drive for everybody on the weekend and keeps them kind of warm, so that when he has his main rally or his main tour, he sells out because
Right, right,
everybody's
right.
like they're used to it with him, right? They know his
Hmm.
MO,
Hmm.
everything else. So just something to think about because there's a lot. I do a lot of that stuff with
Oh
local.
no, I love I love the idea. I love the idea
Yeah,
because
and
there's one out here in the Midwest called the Power Tour,
okay.
and that's like what your friend does. Because so they go about 5 or 6 different states, but they're all classic cars.
Yeah, and I think
You
that's a
know.
good demographic to be in, right? Like because, like you said, all the supercar groups, they're like, there's a lot of liability. Like Corsa Rally had, I think, a
Mm,
death like last year,
right,
and
right.
it was very public. People were just recklessly driving,
Yeah,
and look, like it's just it's not for everybody, right? Doing that kind of
yeah.
stuff,
Oh
and
shit, hell yeah.
but when you have a supercar, everybody kind of wants to do it once, right? They want to have that
Right.
experience, and I mean, I did it. I have that experience. Drove it
Yeah.
on the tail of the drag. It's something that I get to take with me, right? Like, you own a car like that, but it's like, but I got to take it on the tail of the dragon, right? 311 curves in 11
Right.
miles, like, or something like that. Fucking crazy shit,
Yeah.
bro. And
Yeah.
I'll
No,
tell you, man.
I've done the Tail of the Dragon. It's yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
yeah.
and you can see here, even on Eight Spade, bro, like, they do multiple rallies. They do, like, a fall rally, they do a spring rally, and then the main rally is the six-day rally in the
right.
summer, and you can see it says, Toronto to, and I think this one was Toronto to Chicago last year, but often in the fall rallies, they do kinda Catskills in New York, upstate New York. We've gone to Boston as well. So it's been pretty fun, man.
See, I think I pulled up your page. That's the one. A
Ace
Spade
Spade,
Rally.
yep, Ace Spade,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah, and you can see on
Yeah.
YouTube,
I've heard of these guys.
yeah, Daily Driven Exotics has been on it. Stradman's been on it,
Yeah.
and what so a lot of big YouTubers have come on Ace Spade Rally.
Mm.
So it's a very very well run rally, and it's actually quite cheap
Oh, look at
compared
that.
to like.
Elkhart, Indiana, East Moline, Madison, Wisconsin. Yeah, yeah. This is
This is what
cool,
I was
man.
asking you. I was like,
Yeah.
is this route even fun? Like,
Oh yeah, it's fun. Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
always
yeah.
thought it would just be
It's
fucking
fun.
flat roads and. We're driving in the middle of
No.
nowhere and like fucking cow country and stuff like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, no.
I was like, I don't know where the fuck these places are, but
It's fun. I just the only thing with me is even with the even with my car, I try not to speed, not to break any laws because man, I'm telling you, you get pulled over in like Michigan or Indiana, fuck.
yo,
Especially if they find out you're doing a rally,
yeah,
man, they'll impound your car.
I'll tell you a story. So, not too long ago, there was a rally that started up in Toronto, and it was like promoting like masjids and stuff like that in Canada.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
they reached out to me and they're like, "Hey, would you be interested?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then I kind of reached out to them, like, "Yo, like, I mean, I'm part of the rally culture. Like, the rally culture is like go buck
Right,
wild.
right, right.
Like if you guys are doing this for like a religious like promote, like the
Yeah.
charity and stuff like that, I'm like." Like, how are you guys gonna handle that kind of stuff? Like, oh yeah, you know, we'll be tame, bro. There's no tameness at all. Like one guy got impounded like outside of my city with
Right,
with a
right,
red Lambo, and like people thought it was me, and I'm like, well, first of all, it doesn't have my license plate, which is hers,
right,
man.
right,
You
right,
know,
right,
and it was just like it just you can. I'm telling you, man. Like with rallies, everyone says, "Oh
Yeah,
yeah, we're gonna go slow, bro." The first guy that goes is like fucking booking at
yeah,
120 minimum up the
right,
fucking
right.
road,
Yeah, and
right? Like
I've seen a lot of cars get impounded, bro. A lot of cars.
yeah, it's certain states of the U.S. you got to be very careful. Like
Yeah.
we were told, like Virginia, they don't fuck around in Virginia. Like no
No,
radar
no.
detectors. 20 miles over, it's reckless driving in Virginia. You got
Now
to be
you
very
can't fuck
careful.
around anywhere, like Indiana, Michigan,
Mhm.
Wisconsin, Ohio, Iowa. You can't fuck around. And the farther east you go, it becomes more and more complicated.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to get a reckless charge and have to go back to the state
no,
and stuff
no,
like
no,
that,
no,
right?
no,
Like it's just,
no,
so it's but that, but
absolutely
that's
not.
that's why Mark, I said, the tour, especially with the types of cars that I'm seeing on the screen, obviously really cool, like, group of cars. You got everything from Miatas to Mustangs to
Ah,
you can see
Challengers,
Challengers. You see everything. Like
McLarens, everybody. I mean, in this one, we had about 300 cars.
beautiful.
So these are all our cars from the club, and we're pulling into a state police facility out in West Illinois. They allowed us to park. These are all our cars, bro.
Yo, I like the Supra. You got a
Yeah,
great Supra there as well.
yeah,
That's
yeah. There's a Super over there too. So it's everybody. There it is.
yep.
So
Five.
it's yeah. So that's the banded one.
Yeah. Nah, man, this is
uh,
cool. This is what I told you I love about your
yeah,
show is like the amount of domestics I see, because where I come from, I mean, there's domestics, but like in Canada, everyone's all about the imports,
right.
BMW, Mercedes. There's a ton of BMWs, so
Yeah,
I don't really get to enjoy the domestics as much. Whenever I come to the States, man, I'm always like, I always want to go to car stuff because
right, right, right.
it's such a treat for me to see that kind of stuff. For you, it's like normal business, right?
Oh,
Like you see
it's
this
every
every
day.
day, right? Yeah,
It's
yeah.
every day. It's every day. Every
But
day.
yeah, this is why I love like that you're doing this stuff, man. Because like I'm so into like car culture and
Yeah, look at that, a 55 Chevy truck,
oh man,
Just out of the blue, just out of the blue.
dude,
It's
I've
there it
wanted
is.
to buy one of these for so long, just like a vintage truck.
Right,
And
right.
it's just it's they're not most of the ones that are around here are like rat rods, right? Like they're just
Oh,
fucking
there's no maintenance to it. They last forever.
yeah. That's cool, man.
There's nothing to it as long as you have a couple of, your tools, you're fine.
Nice.
Nothing breaks down.
Well, and that's the thing, man. Like with all this new stuff, right? Like everyone's like, oh, now that the Huracan has been sunset, are you going to buy the Temerario? And I'm like, well, guys, like, you're talking about a car that, first of all, a mechanical car before.
There's my buddy's Cobra right there.
Do you know, is this a, do you know what make of Cobra he used for the kit?
That's Factory 5.
Okay, Factory 5, yeah. I have a buddy who got a similar one. He's
Super
got it.
Performance.
Yeah, he got the blue. His is in blue with a white stripe. But there's a ton of different kit manufacturers for the Cobra. I love them, man.
Uh,
I'm a huge fan of
the best ones, I think the ones that really have it down is Factory 5,
Mhm.
because Factory 5 bought the molds from Shelby,
Okay. Yeah, I
and
think that's what he was mentioning to me was like
yeah,
there's
they
some
can dial it down.
yeah, there's some connection like that he was mentioning because he has a Viper GTS.
Mhm.
Um, what else is he? A Viper GTS. Guy's got like an Audi R8. He's got a bunch of stuff, but he had always wanted a Cobra, and
Right,
I
right.
was like, bro, like just get the right one because kit Cobras can be like all over the map, like you said, right? So
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
some are great.
underneath the fiberglass, it's nothing but a Mustang anyway.
Yeah. But still, man, like just think of that, a roadster, just a nice drive, nice summer's day. Like
Oh yeah.
it's something else, right? Like and
Oh,
for me,
absolutely.
I've always been a huge, AC Cobra fan. It's a dream car, right? Like ever
Right,
since I was a kid, it's funny how as a kid I loved that car. And
right.
it's so odd right now because it's not really a new car; it's a vintage car. Like, why the hell would you like that car, right?
And,
So,
let me tell you something. My buddy has one. Before COVID, he bought it, I think, in 2014 when I had the bad bike.
mhm.
He paid $18,000 for it.
Jeez,
Today, it's about $80,000.
easily 80,000,
Yeah,
easily.
and it's a kit car. It's not even the real Shelby Cobra. It's a kit car from
Yeah, but
factory five.
that community is very very enthusiastic about those cars, right?
Oh
Like
fuck yeah!
it's like Lotus, man. Like Lotus, not to say the Lotus is a kit car, but like Lotus owners, like, Lotus cars don't use on the secondary market, you don't usually take a dive, right? They kind of hold,
Right.
with even decent mileage on them, they hold, right? So it's just because Lotus buyers love Lotus, they track them, they're very enthusiastic about that brand for some reason.
Mm. Oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
yeah, you just can't get any good deals on like Elise, Evora, right? Even
Not right now. Not right now, because they know that the demand is high, supply is very low,
mhm.
and the prices are still they're too high. They're too high. I mean, the fucking Miatas are going. I mean, the new Miata, the one I have, is going for 50 grand. What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, I think Miatas, they should be affordable, because people like you, like they use them for purposes, right? Like whether
Right.
it's
Right.
club racing or weekend drives. It's not just your run of the mill daily driver, right? Like
No.
there's a
No.
lot of folks
No.
that they use them for purposes.
I mean, you go
And
to a on a track day, 100 cars, 100 cars, 89 of them are Miatas on a
literally,
track day. Yeah.
literally, and I kind of wanted to go the other way around. If I was looking for a club racing car, I was like, because everybody kind of does the Miata, and for me, it's like a Miata is still a convertible, right? So if you're going on the track, you want, maybe just a coupe, something that's a bit more rigid, I would say, in the
Yeah,
frame. So
the old Miatas, you have the convertibles, but the new ones, like the one I have, you have the GT,
yeah,
which is the retractable top, and you have a
yeah,
convertible too. I'm
yeah,
trying to find a video. I think I had a video somewhere with the club where we went out and we did a track day, and you can see my car in there too. Let me get it.
yeah. I always thought of maybe the Porsche 944, four pot, super cheap. You can do your own work on the car and stuff like that. It's not
Yeah,
expensive. But you could, because I think that's what Mike the Snake did. He didn't use a 944. He used a 914, which is a lot more rare than
right,
a 944. But
right.
I'd use it. When I was around that Chicago area, I saw the guy who owns a 914 has the license plate 914 in Chicago. I saw him punting around. Like I think I was on my way to like Oak Brook or something, and
Yeah.
I just saw him around. I was
Well,
like, oh, check
there's
that.
my little baby. Look
There
at
you
that son of a
go.
bitch
There you
go. Look at that
go.
motherfucker go.
Yo, so you guys are doing what's this called? It's called something something autocross. Autocross.
Autocross, yeah.
That's what you guys. Yeah, autocross is fun.
Schaumburg. This is at the
Schaumburg.
Schaumburg Community College.
That's sick, man. Autocross is so fun. Like,
Oh man, I mean, you should see some of the cars that people have over there. Holy shit!
yeah, no, you're ripping it, bro. You're having a
What
good
the
time.
hell, yeah! Fucking 80 miles an hour
I love
taking a
it. I
turn.
love it. I love it.
But it's like a fucking go kart.
Well, that's the thing, right? That's why everybody loves Miatas.
It's a go kart.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about a roadster for a while, and I was talking to Jay Anthony about this, and Jay Anthony does not like the S2000 for some reason. And I'm
I
like,
love.
everybody loves the S2000 because you got this high revving,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
like
yeah.
manual only, roadster.
I
But
love the S2000.
yeah, it's an icon, man. I'm surprised he doesn't like it, but yeah, I just like the fact that it's manual only, revs up to like fucking was it, like 9-10,000 RPM, like some crazy
Right,
shit,
right.
and it's super nice. But okay, there we go, Miatas.
This is at the autocross, so just you can
Fuck.
have a general idea.
There you go. There you go.
So you have all types of cars over here. There's a Honda there, the Civic Type R.
Yeah, you got a Cayman.
There's your Porsche right there.
Yep.
There's another Porsche right there,
Yep.
and then of course you have the Miatas.
Dude,
These are the fourth generation, the NDs.
yep.
This the generation that I have. This is the one that's like, yeah, they're badass, man.
Nice.
They're badass.
I remember on the Tail of the Dragon, I was like watching all the McLarens and the Porsches just rip up
Yeah,
that road, man. I was dying to have my GT3 RS back
right.
because in the Huracan, I was with my friend who had his R34 GTR, and
Mhm.
he was ripping hard, man. I was like, fuck, like this guy's going fast,
Oh
and
yeah,
and a guy behind me had a 488, I think 488 Spider. And
right.
I was just like, I could not go as fast as these guys were in the Huracan.
Yeah.
And I was just was just wishing I had my other car, bit more better handling, I would say, on the turns through the Porsche or whatever.
Oh,
But
I hear you. And mine is supercharged, by the way.
oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, mine is supercharged. I just changed the turbo on it. Well, I didn't change the turbo, the shop did.
I was debating that,
Yeah.
right? Because
Huh?
I was debating on that with the Huracan because, like, for me, but I don't want to buy the Temerario. The Revuelto is just like it's double, triple the money, right? It's crazy money.
It's crazy, man.
You know, it's a
And
million
it's
bucks.
still version 1. We see the problems that
Well, exactly.
Damon's car has,
Exactly.
So,
It's like
yeah.
the first Aventador, right? Aventador
Yeah,
20.
we don't have Mike Essa everywhere, so
Well, that's the issue, right? Is you get into these cars and you start getting issues, and all the electronics, like you're mentioning, it's
right.
even more amplified in the
Right.
hybrid era, right? So it's like
Yeah.
I really would rather have a mechanical engine
Right.
rather than a hybrid engine, just because yes, it's expensive, and but I mean, my era was shared parts with the R8, right? And there's lots of R8s.
Yep.
So I'm not super worried about it. And so for me, I was thinking of actually supercharging. If I did twin turbo, I'd go to like have to go to like Sheepy Race or Underground, and those are like 100 grand. You're easily spending it
Yeah.
for fucking stage 3 or something like that.
Right.
Whereas you get a VF Engineering supercharger, you're at about 30 grand, 30 to 35 grand.
Mhm.
I actually talked to Dave from Daily Driven Exotics.
Mhm.
And he said he's like, get a VF Engineering supercharger. He's like, he's like, don't even turbo it. He's like, just get
Right.
the VF Engineering supercharger. He's like, you'll fucking love that car.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
safe. It's not gonna break. And they got a good warranty with that brand. And and he just told me that privately. Like, he didn't, there's nothing on the streams or anything or on the YouTube.
Right.
He just Dave was just like, bro, like, he's like, I used to have my Gallardo, and when I had my because I asked him the question, I'm like, do you feel that the Huracan, from what you guys have done over the past 7-8 years, spruiking the Huracan, on your channel and being the main car, do you think children are going to kind of remember that, and then when they get older want to buy those cars? And he's like, absolutely. He's like, to him, that whole era of Daily Driven Exotics was through the Huracan. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, they're the ones that started this game, and everybody else followed. I mean, shit, they were doing this 12 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, they had it with the Gallardo.
Yeah. And
Damon was his first videos.
his 458. Yeah.
Yeah, he had his 458 after the Gallardo, and then they got into the Huracans, and from the Huracans they expanded obviously into the hypercars and whatnot.
Right.
But I met Shmi 150. He was going for Gumball in
Oh,
20.
I hate that son of a bitch.
Oh, dude, he was going for Gumball in 2022, and his wheel had broke in Albany, and he was supposed to come to my city to do a video on a local collector who's a friend of mine. And so I got the invite to meet him at the collector's facility, and he has a big facility. And this collector has like Pagani Huayra, Koenigsegg Agera, like he has like big time cars.
Right.
And yeah, and I was supposed to drive up with Shmi from my city to Toronto for the start of Gumball. But what had happened was Shmi had broke his carbon fiber wheel on his Mustang GT500 in Albany, New York, upstate New York, right at the border to Canada. And he was fucked, and he showed up in like a rental car. So obviously I was like, well, bro, I'm not gonna fucking drive up to Toronto in my Huracan when you're driving a fucking rental, right? And he was super embarrassed. Like, he did not want to come to like my club's car meet, and he was just embarrassed by the situation that like he may not go to Gumball, and he's flown all the way over here.
Yeah.
He's a big time YouTuber. But long story short, a dealer in Toronto ended up having a GT500 with the carbon fiber wheel, so they took it off and gave it to Shmi and whatnot. So
I mean, the guy has a bunch of cars. It's not like he doesn't have any cars.
I'll tell you something, Mark. He's actually a very approachable person, super nice. His girlfriend does his filming for him. Super chill, man. Like, he hung out, did just hung out with the boys, did a couple autographs and just chilled, and then had some lunch with us, and it was just a very approachable, nice guy. So I don't have a problem with Shmi. I think he's all right. But he comes from humble beginnings too, right? He was a car spotter, like, at the start of it when he made his channel.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, he's got like everything. A Ford GT, he's got fucking, SF90 Ferrari. He's got everything.
Right.
I don't know. I think at that point you just kind of lose. You lose.
Yeah, him and DDE, they don't get along at all. They had a little fight after that.
Yeah, and that fight was because of Gumball, right? Like,
Yeah,
I think it was DDE.
Montenegro,
Yeah, DDE was a sponsor of Gumball,
and
and
he took the decals off.
yeah, and Shmi took the decals off. Which I mean, I've met Shmi, and from the character, and I've spent a couple hours with the guy, so I mean, I don't know him very well, but I think I got a decent judge of character, and I'm a little surprised he did that. But
Well,
again, right? It's YouTube.
it's
It's
like
YouTube.
you're doing the a spade rally, right?
You
And
have to. You
y-
have to keep the decals on
yeah,
Ace.
exactly. And you take one of the sponsor decals off, so they're not gonna. And Gumball never invited him again after that.
No, that's what Jay Gray is saying. Shmi wasn't on the last Gumball, and yeah, I mean, I have to agree with,
Yeah, that was the
right?
last Gumball for him.
But I have to agree with Gumball. I mean, these are sponsors. They pay.
Absolutely. I mean, DDE was a fucking sponsor. You can't just take the fucking
Yeah,
with
so
decals off.
on Ace Spade Rally, I'll tell you something. So on Ace Spade Rally, they have the same rules. Is if
Right.
you are joining the rally, you have to have the decals on because they are the sponsors. They're subsidizing the rally for everybody.
Absolutely.
Now,
Yeah.
we were allowed to put on um, one decal of a business that was not in competition with
Mhm.
all the others, right? So, for example, I live in a different city than Toronto. So, all of the decals were Toronto based businesses. So, I had a buddy who was, I think he had done my windshield protection, my S Tech windshield protection. And so he was like, would it be okay if I put my business name on that? And I asked the rally, and they're like, yeah, like he's not a competitor, right? He's not in Toronto. So I was
Mhm.
able to put his decal on, which was super nice and stuff like that. But yeah, you're right. You cannot take them off. So it's kind of shitty that that he did that to DD. So I get
Eh,
it.
Well, he just didn't do it on one car. He did it on all his 7 cars, all his 6 cars
Yeah.
that were in the rally, and that was kind of spiteful. And yeah, it would be a bad thing, not to have your thing and you're in the fucking rally.
Well, have you noticed that Nico has now started to cozy up with DDE as well, Nico Leonard?
Yeah, he's got 2 of his cars over there.
And I kind of told this to Archie. I said, even Nico Leonard kind of realized that like watch YouTube is very small,
Yeah.
right? Like, and it's even smaller on live streams. Most watch YouTubers don't live stream.
I mean, how many hours are you going to talk about the Explorer?
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's not that big of a market, and that's where Nico probably realized that these DDE guys have 3-4 million subs, and he's
Right.
barely topping a million at the time.
Right.
He's like, I got to expand, and so lifestyle wise, he buys his what was it, 812 super fast, and he gets into it, but he's not like these guys have been doing it for fucking 12 years. Like, ends up breaking his car and doesn't really understand that rally life is like, it is that. I have friends that like transmissions have blown on those rallies, or people got
Yeah,
in
that's a
accidents.
what $30,000 transmission, man. Come on.
Yeah, and Nico's like complaining about it. He's complaining about Ferrari. I'm like, yeah, but like anybody who's into cars would have known if you fuck around like with a Ferrari, like Ferrari's not gonna honor the warranty. They're just gonna tell you to get fucked. They're the one brand that will tell you to get fucked.
Yeah.
Is Ferrari, right? So
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
I just
And
you
and
know
and then on top of that, they'll ban your ass.
yeah, well, modifying maybe not, but like certain things modifying, like I think he did like exhaust. I don't know what the fuck he modified, but yeah, certain things like paint or anything aesthetic that can ruin the image of the brand, absolutely. Um, Jay Gray's asking, will Nico be on the next Gumball? He put his own sponsor stickers on his front. I don't know, man. Honestly, Gumball, I have friends that have been on Gumball that went in 2022, and they felt that Ace Spade was a better rally for them than Gumball was. What you're paying for in Gumball is really the celebrity status. You're paying to hang out with Dead Mouse and whatever
Right.
other celebrities they have coming on the tours. Like you're
Right.
talking about, and you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like this isn't like Ace Spade could be
Yeah,
five.
it's about 150,000.
Yeah, like you got Gold Rush, which is 20,000 a leg. Like those rallies are a lot cheaper than Gumball. Now Gumball is obviously more exclusive. It goes to pretty cool destinations and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm not that interested to go on Gumball because
$150,000.
yeah, it's just what do you get? Like for example, these other rallies, right? Like DD, they've been on Ace Spade rally. I like all of the people that go on Ace Spade know all those guys.
Right,
Because
right,
it's on that with them, right? And same with Stradman and other people. Like you don't have to go to Gumball. But Nico's pretty new into it. you know, and I kind of told Nico if he ever comes to Toronto, give me a shout because obviously I'm tied to Ace Spade and I have a pretty big connection with those guys. So yeah, if he's interested and he ever wants to do the car thing in Toronto, we can do that. But yeah, it's
He's
just
a, he's a nice guy. Nico is a nice guy.
I like Nico. I've never had a problem with
Yeah.
Nico. I've talked to him a number of times. Follows me on
Yeah.
Instagram. We chat once in a while, but you know, he's chill. And it's just interesting, Mark, that he pivoted into cars.
Cars and big time. And
Yeah,
big time.
huge into cars. I mean, think about it. Going to Gumball is an investment, right? Like he's having to spend some money. I don't know if he's sponsored by Gumball or he has to pay money into Gumball. I don't know. But
You know who owns Gumball, right?
yeah, it's that former model. I forget his name.
Mr. JW.
Oh, Mr. JWW. Did he owned? No, it was
Mr. JWW's brother-in-law is the
brother-in-law.
owner
Yes,
of
yes.
Gumball.
Yeah, I don't mind Mr. JWW. Like his look, British YouTubers. I prefer JM on cars. I don't know if you've ever seen him. He does kind of like, you know how like you used to watch car shows on TV where they
Yeah.
review cars and stuff. His channel is like his videos are like that. It's kind of like an old school 1990s car show where he, you know, borrows a car from somebody, takes it out for a drive,
Right.
and tells you what he likes about it. It's just normal review stuff, but
Doug Doug DeMuro.
well, it's different than Doug DeMuro because Doug DeMuro is all about the quirks and
Yeah.
you know, and stuff like that. This guy, he produces it like a TV show, and you just don't see that anymore with,
Right.
with YouTube content. Just like you know, in yours, you do mostly like car meets and car events, which again, also you don't really see. There's another YouTuber in the UK I told you about yesterday, Adam C0346. You can look him up, but that's his primary business is car shows in the UK. And all he does is go to car shows. And me and Mental Jock talk about him because I think he reviewed Mental Jock's car years ago when Mental Jock was in the UK and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, just car stuff could be anything, man. It doesn't have to be reviews. It's the stuff you do, man, that like I'm a huge fan of because I love fucking just going to car shows and just seeing what other stuff people have out there, right? Like
Yep.
super fun.
Yeah, you got to. Sorry, you got to really like the cars. I mean, you got to be in the. You got to have the love for it.
Yo, bro,
That-
like if Ace Bay goes to Chicago next year, you're flying your ass to Toronto. We're gonna get some proper like I don't know if you had a chance to go to Toronto yet. Proper desi food in Toronto. You and I, we're gonna have some proper fucking lahori karai. You and me, we're gonna have some proper food, and then we're gonna hit the rally, and then we're gonna
right on.
look wild, man. And then we'll go to Devon as well. You can take me to like fucking JK Kebab, or you could take me to fucking Khan Barbecue
Absolutely.
in Devon.
Shiny Ari.
Oh, bro, or even a chai at Tahura, man. I'll take a chai at Tahura. No problem.
Oh man, that's the place. My mom loves that place. Holy
dude.
shit! Every time we go there, we got to stop over there. I'm like,
My-
why, mom?
Bro,
Why?
My wife loves to shop on Devon, so whenever we go to
Oh.
Devon, I'm just chilling at Tahura. I'm just like, all right, I'll
Right.
you do your thing. I'm gonna have my tea in Tahura, and I'll just
Right.
chill, right?
There's another gentleman out here named Faison Law. You know them?
Faison, no, I don't.
He's an attorney and he's into our club, the Chicago Auto Club West.
Mhm.
He has I think it's a Silver Shadow. No, it's a Phantom. He's got a Phantom, and he's got a Lexus something.
Yo, like on the chat like a couple years ago, someone's like, "Yo, some dude brought a Diablo to like the masjid in like Bolingbrook or something." And it's just like, what? It's like what Juman Namaz just goes up with the fucking Diablo, like.
No. Hold on. So we're at the mosque, right?
Yeah.
And this guy comes up in a demon.
No way.
Yeah.
That's chill, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
You know, hey, you
I
don't
swear to
demons around.
God, I didn't want to get a demon just because of the word demon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a long time ago, I was involved in, all that crazy sick shit, and then one day I just gave it up, man. I just
Like
gave it up.
You mean like the occult? The occult.
Yeah, the occult and the Masonic stuff and everything.
right.
I just gave that away, man. It was becoming too demonic for me. I'm sorry. Sorry to
Honestly,
say.
I had an opportunity. I had a friend who was pretty high up at a Dodge dealer, and it never fell my way to get an opportunity for an allocation. But he basically told me, he's like, I didn't know you wanted one. He's like, if I knew that you wanted one, I would have called you and you would have had the allocation. But demons have come down now. I think they're like either at retail
70s,
or
man. They're in their 70s. When
Yeah.
when they first came out,
Yeah.
they were like about 100, and then after COVID, they're like
Yeah.
200,000.
Yeah.
It's like the C8s when the C8s first came out, right at the cusp of COVID, at the pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay, the car is 80,000 from GM.
Yeah.
The markup is another 70 grand. People are paying 150, 160, $170,000, and now you go to these Chevy dealers and they have 7, 8, 9 on the floor. 72 months, no payment. Just take it. Just take the fucking thing.
Yeah, I think with the release of the Z06 and now the ZR1, right?
Yeah.
Like some of the high end guys, they want the Z06, they want the ZR1. Personally speaking, I think the C8 is a magnificent car. I think they did a great job. Flat plane crank V8, like fucking nice, man. Nice looking car. I've always loved Corvettes. There's a lot of supercar owners that hate Corvettes because they're like, it's like a poor man's. Nah, man. Like I've loved. I'll tell you. I used to when I was a kid. I used to have a Power Wheels of a C4, red
Mm.
C4. Like I used to fucking cruise around the street with it and stuff like that. So I've loved them since I was a kid. And I mean, Diego bought a C3 after around the time his father passed. He bought a C3,
Right, right,
beautiful
right.
green. And I think there's a few Corvette. I think J. Anthony had a C5. So a lot of Corvette guys around the community
Yeah.
as well. But yeah, I'm a huge Corvette fan. But like you said, C8s. But you see them all over Chicago, man. Like they're
Oh,
fucking
they're
everywhere.
everywhere. My neighbor has two of them. I'm
Jesus.
like, why the fuck did you buy two of them? He goes, I just got a good deal. I bought one as an investment. So he drives one, and the other one he just warms it up, pulls it out in the driveway, and then pulls it right back in the garage.
Well, look,
Like, what the fuck?
I mean, historically, standard Corvettes have not been great investments.
Right,
Yeah, you get a ZR1, you get a Z06, sure, right? Those are special editions. I could see a
right,
Z06 being somewhat of an investment, you could say, but a
mhm,
standard C8, no fucking way.
right,
Like
right.
those are gonna sink like fucking the Titanic. Like it's
Yeah,
not. I wouldn't. But look, I mean, I love those cars. I love the look of those cars. I'm buying those on a discount all day long.
right.
Um, just because like for me, I as a car enthusiast, right? You don't have to love supercars. Even like watches, man. Like I mean, I fucking own Seikos. I don't just own Patek Philippe's. Um,
Yeah.
and you got. That's why I like your stuff, man. I love seeing it because whether it's a Miata or whatever, you just gotta love cars. If you love cars and appreciate, second you,
Oh,
I'm like,
absolutely,
God, I
absolutely.
like club racing. I know you do autocross. Like, you're enjoying that car for more than just a daily driver, and that's
Oh
what.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm enjoying. I'm trying to enjoy any goddamn car. I don't care if it's a Miata or if it was a Porsche, if it was my Challenger. I like to enjoy. I even had a cop car. I had one of them Crown Victorias,
Yeah,
and
honestly, if you can ever make it up to my place up in Canada, like you're obviously more than welcome. We
absolutely,
do we
brother.
we do so much car stuff. Like I don't know if you've seen my friend's facility. My friend owns a massive car club facility, right? And it's like it's got a bar, it's got simulators, it's got full dining area, and then it's got a lounge area where you park your cars and you can just you do car meets basically at this indoor club and
Mm,
it is like exclusive, man. I showed Archie on the live stream once because I got permission from the owner to like show it because it is an exclusive like private club.
right,
Um,
right, right.
because I had people in my city that watched the show and they're like, "Oh, where is that?" And I'm like, "I can't really say because it's not a public. It's not a public business. It's a private club, and you have to be
Right,
invited and stuff. But look, if it'd be great because you do media stuff, right? So you could come,
right, right.
travel, and yeah, man. So if you're ever up north, man, definitely, you have my
No,
number. So
absolutely. Now I want to show you something. A friend of mine, he owns this. Let me pull it up, brother. See, I haven't used StreamYard in about almost 2.5 years. So
what's going on? You're not streaming anymore. Like what's
no,
happening?
now I'll tell you what's going on. My dad passed away
Oh
last
shit!
year,
Sorry to hear.
so the whole world shut down around me. I mean, I was not even me myself.
Shit.
Yeah, man, losing. I mean, the last person on earth. I've seen other people lose parents. I never imagined that it would be one day I'd lose my dad.
Mm.
So yeah, I shut down everything, my business, fuck, my life, everything came. I wasn't enjoying anything, nothing at all.
Mhm.
Just lately, I'm coming around, and especially my friends in the industry, they're like, Mark, you can't just shut yourself up like that. You gotta you gotta live, man. So I'm coming around, and I'm trying to start my live streams back up and everything. So but
Yeah, I
yeah,
hear.
losing my dad was tough, man. Very tough.
Yeah,
Very,
sorry to hear.
very tough.
Yeah,
Still is. Still is. Yeah.
yeah. I love seeing the stuff that you do, man. I think a lot of you saw
Thank you,
yesterday.
brother.
You showed up on the show, and so many people were like, "Oh man, Mark's here." Like we haven't seen Mark in so long. I mean, that's the thing. A lot of people liked your content,
Thank
and
you. Thank you,
and
bro. I really love you guys. And here, check this out. This is my buddy. He owns a Chicago car collector.
okay.
So this is like a storage
Yep.
facility.
Yep.
But man, this storage facility is like out of a movie or something. So this is the waiting lounge. I don't know if you can see it.
Yep. I
They
recognize
have,
the lights because everybody has those lights.
yeah, everybody. I mean, the Amazon special.
I was thinking of buying them, and then I was like, you know what? It's like even the ground, right? I think I don't know if that's Swiss tracks or if he's using something else.
I bought the lights. I believe it or not, I bought the lights. They were like $80 on Amazon,
Yep.
and putting them together was such a pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah,
And
I did.
then you got to hang it on the false ceiling, which was another pain in the ass. I just put everything back in the box, took it back to Coles, and returned the shit.
For me, it's just too much work for like I get the effect, but
Yeah.
the problem is everybody has it. So it's like
Right. Right.
everybody's
Right.
got
Right.
those lights and Swiss tracks on the ground, whereas I have
Yeah.
epoxy, and epoxy is super finicky. Like
Mm.
epoxy, if you don't prep the floor correctly, like that shit
Right. Right.
will,
Right.
you get a little bit of what's called hot tire pickup, especially if you have sticky tires like mine. And I'm the type of guy like when I come home from a drive, like I don't like cool down the tires. Like I'll just go straight into my garage. So I have gotten in the past a bit of hot tire pickup on the epoxy now. I have a local friend who did my epoxy, so he comes around, he'll patch it and he'll fix it and stuff like that. But I was like, man, I could just fucking not do this and get Swiss tracks, which is so much easier. Don't require any prep on the floor. I don't know if you've looked into Swiss tracks yourself, but Swiss tracks flooring is pretty. It's like the plastic ones that you like just you just snap together and
Right.
you
Right. Right.
put on the garage floor. It's kind of the thing that everybody's been doing over epoxy these days. But yeah, I'm a bit of an OG. I like epoxy on my
I
stuff.
tried
So
to like it either.
yeah, yeah. But even the lights, bro. Like I just went with some cheap ass fucking Home Depot lights. I was like, fuck it.
Right.
I'm not doing like exactly like you said. I'm not doing all that work, and
Yeah.
it just like I'll just buy some cheap ass fucking Home Depot lights, and it'll be whatever. So you know, that's
Hear you, brother. I hear you. I hear you. So here we are, man. Here we are. Here we are. Holy crap! Our test run over here.
well, I'm happy it works.
Yeah, yeah. It works. It's still kind of slow, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing wrong. My what do you call this thing? My screen is not mirroring, so I don't know what the fuck is going on with that.
Hmm.
And then I'm looking at the feed on YouTube, and it's kind of blurry, so I don't know what's up with that. But on your screen, how am I? Is my image sharp?
I mean, it's not blurry. Like
It's
it's
not blurry.
not blurry at all for me,
Yeah, but
honestly.
why the fuck am I paying all this money for 1080p?
I have no idea. Maybe it's not coming out through YouTube. This is the thing, man. StreamYard's been finicky with YouTube lately, so I don't know. Like even Archie's had problems with his. Like what I had the other day or yesterday was something that they had like a day before, and it just
Yeah,
shut
that
down
like,
the stream. Yeah.
but here's the thing. Here's the thing. So we get away from Streamyard. What else is there?
I don't know. Like other than
Twitch. There's no way everybody can jump on Twitch.
no,
Twitch
no, no,
is
no, 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 no. They're not going to Twitch. No, they have another
uh
streaming software that's coming out that people. I'll find out from Mental Jock what they're using. But they use something else. It's like either it's cheaper or it's like for example, Ken from Sketch Down Under uses a free software, but it's obviously like not the functionalities. You got to program a lot of it, I think.
yeah.
So
See, I don't have the patience for that.
that's why a StreamYard's good, right? If you just want something to fire up and be simple, StreamYard. Even though
Yeah,
you pay
yeah,
money
yeah.
for it, I would agree with you. Like for me, it's just I want to hop on, talk some shit, and leave. Like I don't want to.
Even OBS is complicated.
Yeah, nobody wants complication. They want because it's complicated enough to run a fucking stream, let alone have
Right.
all the background shit for a stream.
Right, right,
Um,
right. And putting settings and YouTube keys and shit. You just want to jump, but I don't know if there's another service like StreamYard. I mean, it would be a hell of a thing.
I think that they have a decent amount of like the market cornered, where that's why they're doing the price increases, because it's a significant price increase.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw the bill.
And
Jay Gray sweater is Zoom any good?
I used to use back in the day. The live streams used to be on Google Hangouts, and that was not very good. StreamYard is much better than Google Hangouts, for
Yeah.
example. So I don't know about Zoom itself, but yeah.
We
Yeah,
we gotta go. We gotta Google something comparable to StreamYard. What is out there?
Yeah, and it's not just I think comparable from a price perspective, but from a functionality perspective. Because StreamYard is great from functionality, like
Yeah.
easy to pull up stuff. Like honestly, had no idea how to use StreamYard the first time I started doing a stream. I figured it out. Like it's not rocket fucking science, right? Like I really
Mm.
don't understand how people struggle with it. To a like Mike the Snake had no idea how to pull up a chat. I'm like, really? You just click on it? Like it's not that hard. Bro, I
how
was
is how is Mike the Snake? Shit, I
He's
haven't heard from
good,
him.
man. He's good. I met him in person in San Francisco.
Oh
Uh,
man, I love him.
you know what's funny? There's a lot of people who live around San Francisco that have never met him.
God,
And I'm like, man, like if I lived in San Francisco, I'd be hanging out with this guy like at least
every day.
yeah, like I try to like get a hold of this guy, and he's awesome, man. Like he
Yeah.
drove down to San Fran. We had some lunch together, and big car guy. Obviously loves his watches.
Right,
He was more
right,
into the
right.
car thing at the time. Like he had just got his well, not just got, but he has his Porsche 930, and
Right.
he was. I think initially he thought it was a great deal, and he thought, you know what, it's a 930, and a 930 for X dollars is going to be great for him. And then
Right.
didn't realize it's heavily modified, and that's the problem with Porsches, man. Porsche owners are like
Yeah,
Rolex owners,
yeah.
bro.
And
They're
and
like
and then
Rolex owners.
they lose the value. The car loses the value.
Well, that's exactly it. You modify a Rolex, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to get dumped on the value.
Right. A buddy of mine, I think he bought the GT3,
Yep.
and what happened was this idiot spent so much money with the car, and then he took it to Rohana,
Okay.
some wheel place,
Yep. Yeah, I know, Rana.
and they put Rohana, they put that brand wheels on it, and guess what? Guess what he did with his wheels? He left them over there.
No way.
I'm like, you fuck. Why would you leave your wheels over? Oh, how's it going to bring him back in the car? I don't need them no more. I got. Oh my god, man, those wheels are like probably 10 grand themselves, bro. Holy shit! So
I
we called the
would-
place, and they didn't have it. They said, oh no, we got rid of those. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you
I would
got
never
on
leave.
eBay.
Yeah, I would never leave my wheels there. Look, one thing about wheels too, it's funny on Lamborghinis is I don't know if you watch VinWiki at all, but Ed Bolian,
Yeah.
he's a big Lambo guy, and when he used to sell Lamborghinis out at Motorcars of I think Atlanta, he said that the amount of people that would put like really big aftermarket wheels on the Lambos would fuck up the transmissions on
Right.
those cars because of the weight of the wheels were just not optimal.
Right.
And
Oh
again,
wait a minute! I just got to make a quick correction. It wasn't Rohana. It wasn't Rohana.
Rotiform?
Yeah, it was. Fuck me dead. I'll tell you the name later. It's right at the tip of my tongue.
It's not Rotiform.
I think it starts with an R. Starts with an R.
I'm thinking Rotiform maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
But they specialize in Porsche wheels and accessories.
Okay. Yeah. Jock bought a set of Rotiforms. I have a friend who bought a magnesium set for his GT3 RS, and this guy is like hardcore against modifying. Like he does very little modifications to his car, but he wanted to buy the magnesium wheels because I mean magnesium wheels are OEM on certain GT3 RSs. You can buy magnesium; they're fucking crazy expensive, but
Right.
you can buy like I think BBS does the magnesium wheels, in the old FIRs or something. But yeah,
These. Yeah, but I don't know why people would leave their old wheels.
they just don't know, man. They don't want either that or they don't want to have to go through the hassle of Like the way I met this car group in Chicago was I was selling my BBS FIRs from my GT3,
Hmm.
and some guy in Chicago was like, he bought them, and then he saw my name, and he's like, oh, like, are you like Arab or are you Desi? And I'm like, I'm Desi, and then I actually told him, I'm like, I don't know if you know, but I know people in that area because I my family there, and then we
Hmm.
ended up what ended up happening was like my one of my in-laws is in his car club, so he just added me in and stuff like that.
Oh,
So yeah, it was my one of my in-laws has like a Porsche Turbo S, and so
right.
he had modified it and is in that club and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of Daisies, man, with Porsches over here. Holy shit,
Yeah, Porsche seems to
lot of them,
it
lot of them.
seems to be the car that they like over there. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
It's you know,
I
maybe
mean,
the maybe they're not
Chicago
into supercars.
Chicago Motors can't keep enough of them.
That's a really cool dealer, man. I've always wanted to visit that dealer because they have a really cool like type of inventory over
Yeah.
there. Like,
What's the owner, Padin? He's a sweetheart. I love him. He's a great
yeah,
guy.
yeah. It's like when you come here to to Canada, Lamborghini Montreal is really cool. Like, it's a type of dealer. It's a small family-owned dealership,
Hmm.
and they're I think they are the oldest Lamborghini dealership in the world. They're very they've been around since the 70s. And they like are so welcoming to the public. Like, you don't have to be a buyer. Like, when you go to that dealer, you see many people just going there to take photos of the cars.
Mm.
They simply just tell people don't touch the cars,
Right, right, right.
and don't photograph like underneath the cars. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
business, right? Like, some of these
right.
cars are gonna have some damage. Like, what they
Yeah,
don't want is they don't want people like talking shit about the cars, right? They're just like, look, you can
yeah.
photograph the cars, just be respectful, right? And just super cool, man. So I was hoping maybe Chicago Motor Cars is like that because I'd love to visit that dealership.
Yeah. I think they allow you. They allow you to do that because
Hmm.
all the YouTubers they're always hanging out over there.
Well, yeah, I mean content, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
cars pulling in, cars pulling out, cars pulling in, cars pulling out. Them and there's another place, the Perillo guys. They're pretty good. Gold Coast Lamborghini downtown Chicago. They're nice. We actually had I used to do shoots down there about fucking 15 years ago.
yeah, but even like even on Michigan Ave, like you don't really. I mean, the odd like BMW that's just fucking punting up and down Michigan Ave, right? Like most of the big time cars I see is in the suburbs of
No,
Chicago.
yeah. I mean, after the riots that we had in Chicago,
Hmm.
uh, yeah, you don't see supercars driving
No.
around downtown Chicago because we have so many fucking illegal goddamn fucking aliens down here,
Hmm.
and the crime is like 19,000% up in Chicago. In case you don't follow the news, my brother.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you go down there with a Ferrari or something nice. I mean, you're just inviting yourself to be jacked up, fucked up. Sorry to say that. Even I don't even take my Miata down there. Fuck that.
Yeah, I just mostly see them around like I said, Naperville, Bolingbrook, that area. Like I
Yeah,
see them punting around. I saw Superleggera. I was in downtown Naperville and just I was out for like that's when I went to like Lou Malnati's for some pizza.
yeah,
And I just walking back to my car and I see like a Superleggera just chilling like fucking there, right?
yeah.
So
Oh
it's like
yeah.
cool, man. I took a photo of it and
Right now, what's happening in Chicago is same thing that happens in Brazil. You get a flock of guys like kids, right? They surround you
mhm.
and they all fucking mug you at the same time.
Yeah, we don't have that kind of theft up here.
So,
Well,
so by
bro,
the time you disperse, you're standing in your underwear.
yeah, like here it's more like people are robbing people's like garages and just taking
Yeah,
cars and or even like there's tons of like stories out of Toronto because I'm in a lot of the Toronto like supercar groups and
yeah,
there's a guy who just had his Huracan stolen and the culprit went to like an Albanian like festival in the car.
yeah.
And there's a photo of him, like an actual photo of the culprit, like
Right,
driving this guy's stolen Lamborghini, like that just came out. So I pinged all of my local groups saying, "Hey, if you see this car, like,
right,
reach out to
right.
this guy." And but we've helped recover a couple of these cars. Like,
The
I think
car
it was
probably ended up in Albania.
that we don't know if the car's left yet, but like there was another incident where an 812 Superfast was stolen in Toronto, and through the car groups and the spotters and everything else, we were able to recover the car.
Holy
But like very little help from the police. Like it was all
Yeah.
like local, like just crowdsourcing and
Yeah.
talking on the internet saying, hey, here's I've seen that it was spotted here, like and it was it's a good story to recover, but a lot of them don't get recovered. That's the
Yeah.
sad
We
part.
we do a lot of like private garages, private collections, videos for television,
Yeah, you just gotta be
and
careful.
for
You gotta be
but we
careful.
we never disclose addresses.
No,
We,
those.
we we never film the outside of the house. Like, hey man, check us out. We're right over here. Because
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
a
Yeah, don't
lot
send
of
the
these.
addresses, but even then, right, like, just gotta be careful of keeping your keys, like, don't keep them at the front of the house, right, like,
Right.
and don't keep them all in one place, maybe don't keep them at the house, keep the keys somewhere else, like, so even if they
Yep.
came and they wanna take your car, you can't even give them your car, right, like, don't keep
Exactly.
it, right, like,
Exactly.
um, you just gotta be a bit smart, people talk about GPS and immobilizers, and look, a lot of these guys can disable those things, like,
I mean,
it's
they
not.
were stealing Kias with a USB cord.
Yeah.
How the fuck does that happen?
Just fucking who
How
knows?
the, what the fuck is going on?
Here, it's mostly Toyotas and, Lexus that get stolen.
Yeah, the Corolla.
They always
next,
get stolen, man.
next thing you know, the Corolla is,
I'll tell you.
is selling in Peshawar.
I'll tell you a funny story. So somebody yesterday called me a trust fund kid or something like that. I'll tell you a story about I'm definitely not a trust fund kid. I was not. I wasn't poor when I was growing up. I was middle class. But anyways, my dad had a Dodge Caravan, and he
Right,
used
right.
to drive his caravans into the ground. So this car we had 500,000 kilometers on it. Okay,
Oh yeah.
and it was dead on our driveway. And
Right, right.
somebody tried to break in and steal it, and they couldn't because the car was dead, right? Like, you know what I mean? So me and my dad, we woke up the next day. This is like, when I was in high school or some shit. We woke up the next day, like,
Right,
laughed.
right, right.
We just laughed at the fact that they tried to steal this fucking car, right?
they,
That's why I'm like, people are like, "Oh, Tan's a trust fund." I'm like, "Yo,
they
man,
they should have stolen that son of a
they should have like
bitch.
I fucking 500,000 kilometer Dodge Caravan on my driveway, bro." Like,
Oh man, that's beautiful.
yeah. But nah, man, it's good to have you back. It's good that you're
Thanks,
streaming.
brother. Thank you.
I gotta run because I gotta get back. Some lunchtime
Go
here right
ahead,
now,
go ahead.
mate.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut it down too. I'm glad you jumped on, and I'm
Yeah,
glad we
man.
were able to do this.
Yeah, man.
And let's do it again, man, because I need your help because I'm trying to bring up my streams again. So I need
Well, look,
I need to get in the action.
here's a good idea. There's a few things we can do. Um, it depends on what time you can stream, right? Because obviously Archie streams at like your time, Central Time, between 5:30 and 8:30 Central.
I'm not
Uh,
gonna do it at that time.
no, I'm not saying doing it at that time, but either if you were streaming before that time or if you streamed right after. If you streamed right after, I could even send Archie's like link and viewers over here just to give people awareness that like your show's back. And then
Right.
once the show ends, it auto sends all the viewers over here.
Oh,
And then
that's
and then
beautiful.
yeah, and then 100 people will realize, hey, producer Mark is back, and then a few of us will hop on, me, Mike the Snake, Saad, or whoever's around, right? And
Love it. Love
yeah,
it.
we just have a
Love
good
it.
time, right? So yeah, just anytime, shoot me a message
Got it, brother.
on WhatsApp when you're free, and then we'll go from there.
You got it, my brother.
All right, bro. I'll talk to
Thank you, and have a beautiful day.
you too, man. Take care.
Take
Bye.
care, bro. Bye bye. Thanks. Well, that was beautiful. Talking to our brother Tanzil. All right, guys. What time is it right now? It's 11 o'clock. Yeah. All right. Time for me to shut it down.